Hi, I'm Floyd Ellen. I'm here with Coach Boyer for the end of the season Coach's Corner. Coach, tough loss to Iowa Wesleyan in the playoffs. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely, yeah. Obviously hosted Iowa Wesleyan last Thursday night at Bellarmine's Asley B. Frazier Stadium for the sliding tournament semifinals. We were hosting as the number 1 overall seed, playing Iowa Wesleyan as the number 4 seed. A unique set of circumstances leading up to the games. We had obviously played them the week before on senior day. We got the early red card and ended up losing by our largest margin of the year, down a man for 70 minutes, which set up for just a unique environment for that game, and playing against a team that you had played just a few days before. It was one of those days where it rained all day. It was cold out, extremely wet, and really just was pouring rain up until the whistle to kick the game off. And I thought, it couldn't have begun any worse. We had a soft handball called against us right outside the box. Their player stepped up and hit a fantastic free kick to go up 1-0. But was encouraged by the response. We found ourselves level about 15 minutes later. Abnel St. Fleur capitalizing on a corner kick in the box and putting it away to even things up 1-1. The second goal that we gave up about 10 minutes before halftime was unfortunate in the sense that it was very preventable. It was directly off a goal kick. Our positioning on that goal kick was poor, and took a skip off the ground, beat both midfielders that were challenging for it, and they picked up the ball, played one pass in, and it was a 1v1 to go up 2-1. We obviously had a good chance early in the second half to tie it up with Cornell. Their goalkeeper made a nice save, and really it was somewhat of a back and forth game. Not a lot of quality, not a lot of passing, just kind of a dirty, grinded out type of effort from both teams. And we were creating a little bit and starting to come into the game somewhat before the disappointing penalty kick call from the referee, which ultimately resulted in 2 red cards for our team and put us down 9 versus 11. Certainly some controversy in those moments. Was happy to see us go and carve out 2 corner kicks late in the game. You look at the season that we've had, we've scored 21 goals after the 75th minute this year, which is a remarkable statistic. So was not surprised to see us create a couple chances late, but down 2 men, we just weren't able to find a way to tie it up and create that magic that we were able to create all season long. So a disappointing end to what's been a fantastic season. I thought our nerves showed a little bit in that game, and we never really were able to get into a rhythm or flow that we have all season. And we'll certainly take away a lot of lessons from that individual performance and playing in that postseason, that atmosphere, and look to build on that as we look towards the spring and next fall.
And as a whole, Coach, what are your thoughts on the season?
Well, 14 wins are our most in NCAA program history. I'd have to check the record books to see if it was the most in the program's history, including NAIA. I mentioned it in last week's Coach's Corner, but we were 7-2-0 in our first 9 games. We were 7-1-1 in our second set of 9 games. So the consistency that the team showed over the course of the season was remarkable. We talked about the 21 goals after the 75th minute, and I think for me as a coach, that was one of the most enjoyable aspects of the year, was the never say die attitude that the team had, and the willingness to continue to fight to the final whistle, regardless of the opponent, regardless of the score, and just the overall attitude of the team was great. It was an enjoyable group to be out with in practice and to take on the road and just to spend time with. So overall, a very positive season, and our second regular season conference championship in 3 years really sets us up to go and have a good platform to build on, a good base to push for what our next obvious goal will be, and that's winning the conference tournament and making it to the NCAA tournament.
What are your thoughts now that you're heading into the off season about next season?
Well, it was great to see our 7 players earn all conference honors. Out of those 7 players, there was only 1 senior to win that all conference award. So you can tell that we've got a lot of talent and depth coming back for next season. The guys will obviously, you know, they'll feel it this week and next week with the national tournament beginning this afternoon. And, you know, we'll give them a little bit of time and space to regroup and recover both mentally and physically. And then we'll shift gears. Obviously, we've got a lot of recruiting coming up, heading to a showcase this weekend. We'll begin our strength and conditioning program. We'll continue with our study hall and our academic emphasis. And we'll build up to late February, where we'll begin our non-traditional spring season. We'll cap that off with 3 games towards the early part of April. And just try to take this core group that's extremely talented. We have a young team right now. And we also have some leaders in those upperclassmen that we're excited to see take charge of this group and push them forward as we take this non-traditional time of the year together. And you know, for me as a coach and our coaching staff, we're obviously extremely proud of the effort that the team had this past fall. We're extremely encouraged by the level of play that we saw demonstrated over the course of the season. And you know, we really like the group that we have in place right now. So we're just going to develop them as much as we can, encourage them as much as we can, and recruit around that group, try to fill a couple holes that we think we have as we analyze the team, and just try to build this group up as much as we can. I really believe that with this core that we have on the team, that we will be able to continue to push for regular season conference championships like we have these past few years, and to get ourselves back into the postseason and ultimately win those 2 games to get us to the national tournament and accomplish that next goal.
Thank you, Coach, and good luck next season.